Diego, and I'm live. How's everyone doing? How's it going out there? I love you, heart of the city, San Diego. Where are my people at? All right. So I am here to announce Mondays at 8:30 p.m. We are going to go into a series on Mondays, okay, at 8 p.m. 8:30 p.m. Sorry, and we're gonna go into a series, and it is called Magnitude 10.0, Magnitude 10.0 Mondays, and through this series, we're going to understand the magnitude of who God is, okay? And the magnitude of the power of God that is available to you as a Christian. And how do we have that activated? How do we go to our workplaces and because it's a Monday, so how do we take what we will be learning into our places of work and family and all of those things, and I'm a former senior pastor of a church plant in London. I'm now in San Diego, and I am the founder of Heart of the City San Diego. And I also have, my own podcast and things like that. But as the teacher and speaker for Heart of the City San Diego, I'm going to do something that I think is needed. And that is to share with the audience here the magnitude of who God is, and the miracles and signs and wonders of God. Because when we know more about that, then we understand kind of, that we have been given authority and the ability and the power to fight all of the things that bombard us, throughout, our week, in our secular jobs and things like that, right? So, in my return to San Diego, I started out having to have to work a secular job in a lot of different places. I worked a lot of different places. So I worked at the San Diego International Airport, and got to see behind the curtain. I got to see a lot of the things that happen behind the scenes, all of the criminal stuff, all of the, dangerous stuff, and, mechanical failures and things that happen behind the scenes that I didn't want to know about. I'm like that. I never knew that happened, and I fly all over the place. So, we got to see those types of things. Okay. I got to see the behind the scenes of a lot of different things. So, and then I also, worked alongside of the San Diego Police Department on their crisis team. And I got to see, the behind the scenes things of what happens, how it happens, and who's involved. So, found out that, there are some religions here in San Diego. They're the same religion, but they're two different gangs or a couple of different gangs, there's gang rivalry amongst this type of religion. And I have gone to, some calls that that had to do with that type of thing. And you know, I have been trained or taught to go in as a neutral person, because I can't go in with the residue of my own belief. I have to be the belief. I have to be it already. It has to be in me. I have to be it. And when I arrive on the scenes, I'm being, informed on what's happening and things. And then I have to talk to people. And I'm not the person that's doing any, investigating or anything like that. I'm trying to get them help is what I do. So have to go neutral and then get people help. And so in getting people help, getting them the resources or, whatever the thing is that they need at that moment, I find out information. I just been, because I'm the safe person. I'm the safe person that people look to, so I have to take off all of the residue of what I have that is, what I believe, and just be the belief, and trust and know 100% that God is with me. And even if I can't share it, I can be there and have the presence of God there. Just me knowing, hearing, God already knows the whole thing anyway. He already is there on the scene. He's been there with those people. He knows everything. And all I have to do is be that caring person, okay? And so listening, caring, and giving resources and things like that, opening up the conversation of, it always opens up the conversation of, what do you believe? Where do you go to church? And those types of things, right? And so, and in some of these cases, you're in the middle of gang rivalry and they're telling you that this is what they believe, but in the same breath, they're grieving and mourning, or in the same breath, they're confused. They don't know. They don't really believe. They are like, and in my side of things, I'm being neutral. I'm believing that God has already taken care of it for me. I'm believing that, no power that's set to come against me can prosper. It can't do anything to me because I'm protected by the shield that is in place, the armor that is in place, that is put there by God to all Christians who believe. And so my job is just to listen and maybe ask a couple of questions, but not questions that, that lead them in certain directions. So just questions like, or maybe statements or something that might be like, wow, that must have felt really, hurtful. And, and so they will be able to respond to that. And they might say something like, going on, yeah. And then, just listening, and, was there any other thing that you could have done or could have taken place, or, and they will, go into something like that, this is what I grew up with, this is what we do. But just so many things. But in the magnitude, we're going to learn, how big God is. We're going to learn who Jesus is. We're going to learn, the miracles that God can do in all of our lives, just by stories, just by, many of the stories that I know, that people have been, that God has touched their lives and healed them, and all kinds of neat things that have happened. So join me on Monday, right here on Heart of the City, San Diego. And this will be Monday at 8:30 p.m. Monday at 8:30 p.m. And I'm gonna share with you some of these things, and I will have, after I'm done with the video, I will be sharing it all over the place, so you'll be able to find it somewhere, wherever you're following me at. And again, my name is Gloria Medrano, and you can find me anywhere. You can just Google my name, and you can find whatever places I am. But I'm gonna be here with you all, Heart of the City, San Diego, and teach you some of the things that I know. Okay, so I'll let you go for now. I love you guys, and I bless all of you that have tuned in and are hearing this video. In the name of Jesus. Bye. I'll see you guys. Bless you.